time to shake the dust off and begin.
Hey everybody, welcome to Shift Your Story. It's your host, Lucy Price. Let's get started. Hey everyone. So today we're going to be talking about some of my mistakes when it's come to my breakup history. This is a fun one because, of course, when you're on the other side of a breakup, when you're on the other side of heartache, it is easier to look back with that 2020 vision and see all the places that you went wrong, all of the places where you would have done things differently. And I'm hoping today that these mistakes of mine serve as an opportunity for you to not make them, for you to choose something different, for you to have an easier time in your breakup or your divorce. So without further ado, I'm just going to get right on into it. I have 3 mistakes that I've made here in the course of my breakups, in the course of my healing journeys. And being on the other side, I can pinpoint these as my healing process would have gone so differently and would have been so much faster if I had avoided these mistakes. So the first one is one that we hear a lot of people talk about and is incredibly hard to get our minds to do. It is going no contact. And when I say going no contact, I don't mean just not messaging your ex. I also mean not stalking their social media. I also mean not hiding behind a screen and watching what they are doing with other people and the choices they're making and the life they're now living. It is going completely no contact, both in terms of communication and in terms of how you are going to essentially move forward with your life without them. Now, the first thing I'll say with going no contact is I do recognize that this is not available to everybody. I know that there are some people who are going through breakups or divorces who have children or who work with their ex, and we're going to get a little bit into that a bit later. But if you do not fall into that category, I want you to listen up real quick. You are not going to lose attachment to somebody if you are messaging them and then hoping that that random ding from your phone in the middle of the night is their reply. You are not going to move forward with your life if you are constantly stalking their social media and wondering what they are doing in their life. And you're not living your own. You're not living your own path, and you're not really thinking about your life and what you want to be doing. And I know that a lot of times people avoid going no contact because they want to try and have a friendship with them, or they want to try and have a relationship with them. And I hear you. I really do. And there are exes that I have a relationship with that I would say I am fully friends with. But hear me out for a second. How are you going to fully integrate into your friendship with them if you are still secretly holding a torch for them? If you are still secretly hoping that things could have gone differently and that you could be together? How are you going to handle it when they start dating someone new and you haven't gotten over them? How are you going to really stay in that friendship? How are you going to feel? What is your healing journey going to be like if you are constantly picking at a scab or pouring salt into a wound? Now, I'm not saying not to be friends with your ex, but I am saying that a contained time period where you have the opportunity to go no contact and focus on yourself and focus on your own healing journey and focus on what you want your life to look like and be post that relationship is going to make all the difference in how that friendship eventually feels and how you feel in your life and in your relationships to follow. It allows you to have a clean energy without resentments or without looking for anything more. I know that when I was going through my breakups and there was a sense of wanting something more, it hurt so deeply. And I tried to hide it, and I tried to pretend that it wasn't there, and I tried to pretend that it didn't matter, but it did matter, and it showed up in my energy, and it showed up in the choices that I made, and it showed up in how I moved on, or rather how I didn't move on. So the first thing here is going no contact. Now, I know it's not always possible to go no contact. If this is the case for you, then here's what I'll say. Keep it on topic. If you work with your ex, keep the topics on work. Keep it on logistics. If you have kids with your ex, keep it on topic. Keep it centered around your kids and co-parenting. I know it's hard. I'm not saying that this process is easy. And I think it's especially not easy when you do share work or kids with somebody, with your ex. But I am saying it is a game changer, and it is one of the key things that I see consistently with my clients in those who are able to move forward and those who end up staying stuck. So, number one, not going no contact. I've done this more times than I can count, and let me tell you, it makes all the difference when you just go no contact, even if it's just for 1 to 3 months, even if it's just for a short period of time. Okay, I think we covered the no contact. So I'm going to go into the second biggest relationship mistake that I've made. And that is talking to my friends what I really should have talked to a professional about. I'm so grateful for the friends who allowed me to pour my heart out to them, because let me tell you, after some of my breakups, I was a mess, hot mess express. I would spiral so much when it came to relationships, and especially the relationships that didn't work out. I used to get caught in all of these thought traps of no one's ever going to like me, no one ever thinks I'm good enough, everybody is always interested in someone else, I'm always second best, I'm never going to find anybody, I'm never going to fall in love, I'm never going to have a life, I'm never going to have kids, I'm never going to get married. I used to spiral really, 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 really badly. And I'm so grateful for the friends who held me in that. But I really needed to go see someone who could help me get out of those thought patterns, who could teach me how to get myself out of those spirals. And that was something that my friends, with all of the good intention that they had and all of the love and care that they have given me, that's just not something that they could do. I really needed to work with someone else around those things and get support around those things. And it doesn't necessarily need to be those thought spirals for you, but something that I want to really address here is when you are going through a breakup or when you have relationships, there's a difference between a friend and a coach. There's a difference between a friend and a therapist, and they will respond differently. Your friends are more likely to tell you what you want to hear rather than what you need to hear or what will help you grow. And there is, more often than not, I can't speak 100%, but 99% of the time, they have all the best intentions. They want you to feel good. They want you to feel better. But oftentimes, there's perspectives and perhaps hard truths and guidance and wisdom that someone of a different role in your life is going to be better equipped to give you. Because when a friend is supporting you or when a friend is giving you advice, there is also a relationship there that they may be trying to protect. And sometimes when a friend tells you something you don't want to hear, you end up cutting them out or the relationship degrades in some way. And so a friend might not be the person to give you the information that you need or tell you the things that are really going to help propel you forward through a breakup. So that's the first thing. The second thing is your friends have their own perspective on relationships, on breakups, on you. And if they were friends with both you and your partner, then they might have a different perspective on the breakup than maybe you are looking for right now. Having an outside perspective, someone who is really committed to supporting you, but also is not directly affected by how this all plays out, it allows them to enter into the support with a different groundedness, with an energy that is going to be cleaner. because they aren't thinking about all the relationships at play. And frankly, they are trained in relationships. They are knowledgeable about relationships. They have put in the hours, they have done the work, they have done the research that not all of our friends do. Relationships are not something that are taught in school. Most of us learn about relationships from our previous upbringing and our past relationships and our beliefs from pop culture and our beliefs from our own personal experiences. And your friend might have a very different experience than you, and your friend might have a very different perspective than you, and that might not always help you, and that might not always help you move forward. Whereas a professional is trained. They are trained to hold space for you, to process with you. They have your best interests at heart. They are willing and able to tell you the hard things that will help you heal and help you grow. They are able to give you feedback on your thoughts, on your patterns, on your behavior without the fear of social backlash. And when I think back, there's a lot of moments where I wish I had gone to a coach sooner, because by going to friends, there was social backlash that I wasn't fully equipped to handle, and I didn't know how to handle. And there's a lot of going to friends that resulted in gossip, and that really hurt, while I was also trying to heal from relationships that really hurt. And so having that outside perspective, having that someone who's on the outside, who you can go to, who you can confide in, is priceless. It really, really is. So the second mistake of mine was definitely going to friends over a coach or a therapist. And the last mistake was thinking it was all about me. There's that saying, right, of it's not you, it's me, and it's like, okay, rolls eyes, right? But seriously, like, real talk, there are so many reasons why relationships end. And it's easy to fall into the trap of, if I had done this, or if I'd been that, or if this had happened, then we'd still be together, but I'm not that. And I used to fall into that trap constantly. I would analyze myself for what was wrong with me and what I needed to change and what I needed to learn and how I needed to adjust myself, and how is that woman doing it over there, because clearly she's figured it out more than I have. And oh my goodness, it was such a waste of time, and it made me feel like shit about myself. But after a few breakups and after a few relationships that ended for really amicable reasons, I realized that there's a hard truth that sometimes people are just not meant to be in a relationship with each other. Or sometimes two people want very different things in life. And sometimes it's not actually aligned to continue with the relationship. And one person knows that and is willing to bite the bullet and end the relationship. And, there are cases where sometimes your ex is afraid of commitment and doesn't know how to deal with it and doesn't know how to communicate their feelings. And so the easiest thing for them to do is leave the relationship. But that doesn't have anything to do with you. That doesn't have anything to do with you. Others people's patterns and beliefs and how they handle what comes up for them doesn't have anything to do with you. So don't make your desire for reason, for an understanding, for control over the situation be the reason that you also beat yourself up and question who you are. Don't make other people's choices and how they handle things in their life mean something about who you are. It was one of the biggest mistakes I made in my breakups, was deciding that because someone decided to end the relationship, it meant all of these laundry list things about me. It kept me stuck. It kept me hating myself. It kept me wanting to hide under my covers with my cat and never see the sun again. And it wasted so much time. There was so much joy, so many good experiences I could have had during that time that I didn't have because I was spending that time hating myself. And I don't want you to make that mistake. So don't make it about you. Don't make their choices. Don't make their decisions. mean all of these bad things about you. Are there opportunities to grow in relationships and through breakups? Absolutely. But do so with compassion and curiosity, not with the desire to fix yourself. There is a very big difference. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for listening. I hope that these mistake reveals help you. I really do, because looking back, these are the things that I really wish I did differently. It would have made all the difference for me. I think I would have moved on. No, I don't think. I know I would have moved on so much faster. I know that I would have felt so much better about myself and about the healing process if I had done these things, if I had gone to contact, if I had gotten outside professional support, and if I had really made the distinction between what is my ex's and what is mine. It would have made all the difference.
So make whatever change you need to make.
Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If something resonated with you in today's episode, if you could leave a review, I would greatly appreciate it. It helps other people learn what we're all about here at Shift Your Story, and it helps this podcast reach listeners who may need to hear what it is that we have to say. If you would like to connect with me or work with me, you can visit my website at www.shiftyourstory.net. You can also find all of my socials on there so you can connect with me in the way that works best for you. I'll see you next time.